Imagine if the only thing between you and your biggest goals was a handful of skills. And the reason that you are struggling right now is because you hadn't developed those skills. Well, this is your reality. As I talked about in my previous video, the gap between what players know and what they're able to execute in-game is widening. Many players right now are feeling overwhelmed and unable to play their best game consistently, or struggling to deal with the negative emotions they experience in-game, or finding it hard to focus and they're getting easily distracted, or experiencing self-doubt and questioning if they are on the right path. You've been told that solvers are the answer, and if you spend more time studying the game, your confidence will eventually rise to the point where all your performance problems will disappear, which is a lie. Although solvers play an important role in helping you improve your technical understanding of the game, they are not going to help you to execute that strategy in-game. More knowledge is not the solution. Developing specific skills is. By skills, I mean traits and attributes that can be developed through training and practice. I will be teaching you what those key skills are and how to train them very soon. Why your performance is inconsistent. Poker players regularly tell me how they struggle to perform well consistently. When I probe them further, they will often describe the events and circumstances that lead to a performance drop-off. They'll say things like, I was running really bad today and it finally got too much for me. I was playing well, then I made a stupid mistake and it was downhill from there. I started my session well, then I was finding it hard to focus and made some bad plays. This aggressive opponent kept coming after me and I ended up tilting off 5 buy-ins. I played too long chasing my losses, which never ends well. What is really happening is that they don't have a toolkit of skills that allows them to deal with these situations. To highlight this, I'd like to use a tennis example. Imagine a really good tennis player with excellent technique, but lacking the mental skills to stay calm under pressure. During practice, they hit perfect shots with precision and control. In a match, however, facing a tough opponent and a cheering crowd, their nerves get the better of them. After losing a few key points, their frustration builds and their performance starts to drop. They start overthinking and doubting their shots. They struggle to regain their composure, start making more unforced errors, and ultimately lose the match. In both tennis and poker, the issue is the same. Without the right set of skills to deal with the challenges, players are at the mercy of circumstances. They will always be inconsistent with huge fluctuations in their performance. There's a great book called The Inner Game of Tennis, which talks about the importance of mastering your mental state for peak performance. And a lot of those concepts apply to poker as well. Today, I want to teach you about the inner game of poker, and more specifically, the skills that you need to develop in order to play your best poker consistently. Now, before I got into poker, growing up, I competed in middle distance running, where I learned the importance of training. My favorite event was the 1500 meters on the track. The goal was to peak for June and July when most of the championship races took place. In the winter months, which was technically my off-season, my training was focused on building endurance. I would do regular long runs from 10 to 15 miles and tempo runs, which has you running at a comfortably hard pace from anywhere from 10 to 20 minutes. As I got closer to the track season, the training would shift towards more of a speed endurance focus, where I'd run shorter distances at a faster pace. So now I could be running for 2 to 4 minute intervals, closer to my 1500 meter race pace. When it came time to compete, I would now be doing 2 to 3 track sessions per week, with most of the intervals or reps at the race pace or faster than the race pace I wanted to do in the race. For example, if my race pace for 1500 meters was 63 seconds per lap, I might do a session like 8 times 400 meters at 60 seconds per lap. And this would get me comfortable at running at my race pace. Each training phase had a different focus, but they were all aimed towards developing attributes that contributed to the bigger goal of running faster in my race. If I executed my training well over the course of the year, I would be able to run a new personal best and compete for medals in the championships. This is how athletes train. They break their sport down into specific skills and attributes that have the biggest impact on their performance. They then train those skills in a very goal-oriented way. They level up their skills and see predictable improvements in their performance. Your poker athlete skill stack. Let's say your goal is to play high-stakes poker with the best win rate possible, and you want to create financial freedom for you and your family for the future. You know that you have the potential to achieve those goals, but something feels missing. What if that thing that was missing was a set of skills that you haven't yet worked on? You have the drive and passion to be successful, but you don't yet have the specific skills. What if that were true? Most poker players aren't aware that there are 8 crucial skills you need to develop in order to reach your full potential as a poker player. They study and work on their game regularly, but there's a big gap between the knowledge they know out of game and the strategy they are able to execute on consistently. These are the skills that you need to close the gap. Number 1, self-awareness. Know your inner workings, understand what is holding you back, and how to upgrade your identity. Number 2, emotional regulation. The ability to manage and respond to changes in your emotional state so that you are able to perform at your best in challenging poker situations. Number 3, focus. How to keep your attention exactly where you want it without getting distracted. Number 4, resilience. The capacity to recover quickly from all the challenges and adversity poker throws your way. Number 5, perspective. The ability to see the bigger picture and how to use every event that happens as an opportunity to grow. Number 6, presence. Trust in yourself, going with your reads and being fully engaged in the moment. Number 7, stress mastery. The ability to channel every physiological response you have at the tables into a higher level of performance. Number 8, energy optimization. Having an endless supply of energy that allows you to pursue your goals with intensity and that fuels everything you do. Knowing what these skills are is the first step, but unfortunately, it's not going to help you to perform better. You need to train and practice these skills until you get good at them. You need to understand how each skill works and develop them from your current level to a higher level with specific training. If you are being honest with yourself, how much time have you put into training these skills? Do you even know how to train these skills? If the answer is no, can you really expect to perform at a high level consistently? It would be like an athlete showing up to a competition without having done any training. No matter how talented he is, he's going to get beat by opponents who are more prepared than he is. And the same goes for you at the poker tables. You can choose to leave your performance to chance and continue to be inconsistent, or you can get to work training the skills you need to succeed. Many players feel overwhelmed when it comes to working on their mindset and performance. They understand the importance of it, but they don't really know where to begin. So I want to make the path as simple and as concise as possible for you. 1 skill per week, 8 weeks of training, the tools to last you a lifetime. This is the path of the poker athlete. A few times per year, I take on a small group of players and I help them to become poker athletes. I'm excited to announce that I'm going to be taking on a new group of 10 players over the coming week. This is for you if you would like to develop a deep understanding of how each of the skills work, to learn where your current skill level is at and how to improve it, to be challenged by specific training to level up your skill to the next level, to join a community of high performers who are committed to reaching their full potential. You can apply for one of the limited spots in the description. The program will be starting on June 17th with the first live coaching session with me. So don't delay if you're interested. I want to end this video by saying you are closer to achieving your goals than you think you are. The only thing in your way is a set of skills that you are yet to develop. Whether you join me and my other poker athletes or you decide to go it alone, these skills have to be trained if you want to compete at a high level. Thank you for watching. Let your training begin.